Welcome back for another episode of RBP. It is me, Ross Bolen, here today for a throwback solo dolo ramblin' Ron Bowler episode. This week's schedule was chaos, so I'm recording in my makeshift home studio. Hopefully the audio quality is still on point for y'all. I've done what I can, sound treatment wise, with pillows and 4 dogs. As I was writing the rundown for today's show, deciding what topics to discuss, I was scrolling through headlines to see if anything stood out as particularly entertaining. I was like, man, you know what? Everything on the internet sucks now. It's just all depressing, and it's like the majority of the headlines kind of made me sad. It's a sad place, and think how quickly that happened. The internet went from the most magical thing ever invented ever to literally ruining our entire civilization, rotting it out from the core. That only took like 20 years. That's how irresponsible we have been with the internet. Sometimes I feel like I was born in the worst possible period of human history. That the internet and social media alone have made that the case. I really do not believe panic disorder would exist if not for the internet. Not at the level that it does. Which is one of the things I suffer from. One of the laundry list at this point of things that my therapist and I work through on a weekly basis. But the internet and social media alone have made this feel like that I was born, you and I, all of us listening, were born in the worst possible period in human history. Then sometimes I feel like I live in the most magical era ever, with the most potential and possibility and excitement. That's being a person, I guess. Anyway, there was a rundown for the show with some topics, and maybe I'll still cover some of them, but the only thing I'm actually required to do today is the ad reads. So, you know what? Let's knock one out now. Then I'm taking my own leash off, literally and figuratively, and talking with my chest out for the remainder of the episode. First sponsor of the day, so listen up. Felix Gray. Felix Gray glasses, they're incredible. They keep your eyes safe from screens with the finest frames my fingers have ever felt. Just phenomenal eyewear, the best in the world, IMO. I like the finer things, I do. Like the sunglasses I'm wearing right now, we're not cheap. You know what glasses I choose to protect my eyes as I fight children in video games and watch movies every single night? Felix Grays. I've got the Faraday frames, the Nash frames, the West frames, all from Felix Gray, and all so nice that every time I wear them, I get people asking me what brand my glasses are. 5 years ago, Felix Gray realized our eyes weren't meant to look at screens all day and designed glasses to make daily screen time more comfortable and the workday more productive. I have a pair on my face every single night. They're amazing. My eyes never get nearly as burned out as they used to before I found Felix Gray years ago. And I look mature, smart, maybe even stylish, I've been told by my mom. Screens. Folks, we obviously cannot live without them, but they're burning our fucking eyes out day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, and that's where Felix Gray steps in and saves all of our fucking lives. There are a lot of blue light glasses on the market, but to lump them all together is like lumping in Honda Civics together with Teslas as cars. Felix Grays are the only way to go. Get yourself a pair of Felix Gray glasses made for the 21st century and designed for modern, hard-working eyes. You have nothing to lose except maybe eye strain. Go to felixgrayglasses.com/RBP for the best blue light glasses on the market. That's FELIX. GRAY glasses.com/RBP. Free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. felixgrayglasses.com/RBP. All right. It is what I would call freestyle time. I think that's a fair way to put it. I used to freestyle a ton in high school. like, to rap music, hip hop. And if you're listening for the first time, I am white, which is just kind of a weird thing because I went to high school in 2005. But I went to Westside High School in Houston, where about 35% of the population, of the student population, was black. And I think 35-ish was white. Or maybe more, maybe like 45-ish was white. No, 35-ish, and then a lot of Hispanic and a lot of Asian at the end there. But the point being, I saw freestyle culture in front of my eyes every single day during the lunch hour. Like dudes were beating on the table when Pharrell's Grinding came out every single day. Grinding. Grinding. That's the best I can do. If you can't get it from there, then I apologize. No, I don't apologize. My best effort, and that's all we can do is just our best. That's all you can do. I don't know if you know that. Anyway, that shit was all over the lunch tables, and I fell in love with freestyle culture, and I was growing up in Houston at the point where guys like Lil Flip, Paul Wall, I'm trying to name ones y'all would know, like Bun B, but really Lil Flip was the freestyle king of the South, as he called himself, and then it escalated to this huge beef with T.I. eventually, which was really lame in hindsight, but freestyling was a huge part of the Houston culture, of H-Town culture, of the culture that I grew up in and still really embody in a lot of ways. Now I'm a weird hybrid with hipster Austin douchebag who has a Tesla and a podcast, but that's a conversation for another day. I fell in love with it, and then I just dropped a marble. And then me and all my boys in my friend group, which we were all white, admittedly, would freestyle together. And, the conversation about whether or not we used the N-word at that point is really irrelevant to this conversation. But let me just say, all these guys that I'm referring to, great guys, none of us use that word, and it is obviously something that I do not use at all. Honestly, even when I sing rap songs now, I don't say it. It's like there was a point when, no lie, like when I would rap along in the car to myself, I wouldn't skip the word because I didn't know if I was supposed to or if it mattered, or like there was nobody else there. I was just enjoying the music, and that's part of the music that I love. And at some point, it obviously has become such a controversial talking point. There's rappers who say, like Willie D of the Ghetto Boys, that he allows all of his fans to say that word in concerts. I was at a Kanye concert once where he told us, he stopped the show because not enough people said it, the line about Michael Jackson being dead, and he ran it back and then made everybody in the audience say it, which was predominantly white people. He said he gave us all permission, and I was like, oh, this now it feels even weirder. And honestly, ever since that day, it's something that I've never felt comfortable about. It's obviously not a word for white people. In music, it's such an odd predicament for huge hip hop fans that are white, because it's like it can be a lot of the song, honestly, some of the time. And as somebody who considers himself to be, I think everybody carries a degree of racism in them, to be fair, and I apply that to all races. But as somebody who considers himself to be pretty woke, man, so incredibly woke and open-minded, I'm at the point where it's completely unacceptable to me. I don't associate with people who say that word. I used to, and they are no longer in my life, and that was definitely part of the reason, man. Racism is not good, I guess, is the simplest way to put it. It's like obviously not good. And it's such this integral part of hip hop that is still an argument that I don't know the answer to. But back when we were freestyling all the time, obviously as white dudes, we didn't use the word in our freestyles. And it's not because we didn't know better. It's because we didn't want to get the shit kicked out of us or worse. So we obviously avoided it. So what I'm saying is I am in no way trying to skirt ignorance. I am an ignorant buffoon, and at a much lower level now than I once was. And certainly in no way do I harbor any weird resentment toward any of the races except my own at this point. But I think that's relevant to the conversation. So, Ron wanted to touch on it, and Ron does what Ron wants. Everybody knows that. Back to the story. So we used to freestyle all the time, and out of my whole group of friends, like, I was pretty inarguably the best at it, and it became kind of a thing where people knew, like, Ross is really good at freestyling because he's quick, he's witty, he's whatever, he's really handsome, he's got the most perfect penis. Like, people said all these things. I didn't say any of these things. And it was just like, so we'd be at parties or whatever, and people would make me flow with them or flow at them and entertain them. Like, what am I, a clown to you? What am I, funny? Funny how? And I loved it, man. I fell in love with it. I was obsessed with it. It's something that I still do sometimes in the shower. Like, what I'm saying is I can spit, and you can either accept that fact or choose to not believe it, but I am that guy, pal. And I spit hot fire. Dylon, Bill Bolen, Dylon. I said it. So it used to be hilarious, though, and like me and Barrett would flow together a lot. My co-host on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, our television and film podcast here at Bolen Media, we would freestyle together all the time. And he was just one of the people that wasn't scared to do it. Props to him. Like, he wasn't the best at it, but he wasn't bad. And he had the balls to do it with me. And there weren't that many people that did, because most people, they would do it, and then, like, I would do it, and they would look really fucking stupid. And I'm talking about a bunch of white nerds in high school, to be clear. If I went up against any of the people that I saw battling in the lunchroom, I would have gotten waxed hard. In fact, at one point, a girl I was dating cheated on me with the best rapper at our school, who to this day maintains a rapper career in Houston, Texas. Shouts to GT Garza. Google that name. It will blow your mind. I'm not making this up at all. But so yeah, I spit hot fire. Next on the docket, Pete Davidson needs to watch his back. And I become a fan of this guy. Like, I actually enjoy Pete Davidson's comedy. I watch The King of Staten Island. I like him. His story is crazy, that he lost his dad on 9/11. He was a first responder. That's a real story. Pete Davidson lost his dad on 9/11 as a first responder. And that would obviously have a huge impact on your life. But to make SNL as young as he did, and to rise as quickly and as fast as he did, like Mark Wahlberg says in The Departed, like a teenager's dick, is something, man. That's really something. And I haven't yet heard anything about him being a total piece of shit. Now, I'll say this. He looks like a total piece of shit. That's kind of his entire vibe, is shit guy. He's shit man. He's the shitty dude. But I think he's awesome. Awesome. I almost didn't want to say it, but like I think I don't like sucking people's dicks, proverbially, or know if that's the correct word to use, or care. I think he's awesome. And I'd hang out with Pete, is what I'm saying. If he wanted to hang, if he was like, damn, I heard about that podcaster down in Austin, Texas from Houston who's named Ross and has great jokes and cool sunglasses and severe mental health issues like me. Maybe we could be I'm just kidding. Sometimes some of you don't know when I'm kidding, and then I have to explain on Twitter or Discord or whatever, and it's just this whole thing. Man, I'm recording this from a Dave & Buster's. I'm in the middle of a Dave & Buster's here. That, did you know? Well, you'll find out when you see clips from the show on social media. I'm just sitting in a D&B, bro. Drake's about to be here in about 3 hours, dog. Did you know that, man? But Pete needs to watch his back, because if my wife had dated Pete Davidson, my ex-wife, one more for the people in the back, immediately after leaving me, if she had dated Pete Davidson, I would have at the very least taken a shit in the trunk of his car. That sucks. That sucks. Imagine how much that sucks for Kanye. And he's Kanye, but like, listen, we all know Kanye is an incredibly emotionally immature man, and that plays in a lot of ways for a genius creative. It's also incredibly detrimental to your ability to carry on a successful personal life, be a father, and many other aspects of life that are important to me, that I hope he doesn't struggle with. But from the outside looking in, holy motherfuck. But even for Kanye, like, the paparazzi pictures are everywhere now. You see them. If you're a famous person and you break up with another famous person, you see them even if you unfollow them everywhere, because they're going to be on all the other accounts, and then literally probably in Hollywood if you live there, which is a terrible idea, by the way. Kids listening, if you blow up, if you make it, if you become famous on any level, even a fucking Z-list podcast level, do not move to the City of Angels, otherwise known as Los Angeles, unless you have lost all other options, exhausted them, because that place will just fucking eat you. Watch the show Californication, then get back to me before you move out to Los Angeles. So Pete Davidson needs to watch his ass, son. Because here's the fact. Kanye West, stable, mentally unstable, it's not my place to say or judge. I would guess the latter. Has just extinguished his beef with Drake, which we will discuss a little bit later on. And the man that executed that move was Jay Prince of Rap-A-Lot. Jay Prince, who we've discussed very frequently on this show recently, as an incredibly dangerous man that you don't want to upset in any form or fashion. Kanye may be in a position to call in a favor with Jay Prince. And Pete's life's already been pretty rough. And that's the other thing about the situation. Prayers up for Pete Davidson that he doesn't, marry Kim Kardashian like Kanye did. Cannot be a wise mental health decision. And let me just say, if I'm Pete Davidson, and I'm not, but if I'm Pete Davidson, man, that looks like a good option to me career-wise. It looked like one to Kanye, too. But also, not even talking about the career side, Kim seems like she kind of gets who she wants. You don't see people breaking up with her left and right. She dates the most famous people on the planet and locks them dudes down because clearly she's got a lot going on, not just from the business side, but a personality side. I don't know. I never watched the Ray J. Kim tape. I'm just kidding. I've seen it hundreds of times. And just she's a sex icon now. You know, it's like it's one of those things where I could see it being tempting if you're Pete Davidson, not me. I would never. I'm a happily girlfriended up dude and such. You know, Kim, back the fuck off, you skank. Oh, speaking of Kanye, Donda. You remember the Jay-Z verse where he says in one line, "Stop all that red cap, we going home," on the track Jail? Can we use, the way that, and when I say we, I mean the raging liberal douchebags and the aging ones too. That's just what I'm labeled by people. I'm actually quite in the middle. But that's not the point. The point is, can funny people and those who are smart enough to enjoy a good laugh no matter what political party they are in, brain on drugs, can we use, this is taking so long for me to get to the point, maybe I won't, let me clear my throat, but maybe I won't, you know what, moving to the next joke. Let's see how long Ron Bowler can hold this joke. Maybe we use red cap. Oh, he still did it. Ron's the man. Maybe we use red cap the way that the right uses fake news. So when they go, that's fake news. When you hear some bullshit like JFK is rising from the grave and he's actually going to be president, or that the election was rigged and that Donald should have won, you say, that's red cap. Because that is red cap. And clearly Hove invented this term, not I. But I think I'm the one who's trying to install it nationally. And if it has already been done, don't tell me. I would remind you that recently my wife left me. Don't pick on me. I'm also dating a single mother of a toddler. Okay? I don't need that kind of heat. That's red cap. Speaking of Kanye, I'm not, again, danger, Pete Davidson. Danger, Pete Davidson. I'm not going meme that somebody. I'm not going to say that Kanye is going to do some crazy shit, But here's what I'm going to say. Kanye often does crazy shit, like really often. And I worry because he compares himself to some of the great entertainers and creatives of all time, very frequently. One of the great creators and entertainers of all time was a man named Vincent van Gogh, who mailed an ex his literal ear. He cut off his ear and he mailed it to his ex. And I'm quite certain that if, what can we call him? VVG, Vincent van Gogh, like Jeff Van Gundy, VVG, Vincent van Gogh. If we called him VVG, I'm quite certain if he lived in this day and age, VVG would have been canceled so hard. How would he have possibly survived the social media age? The man cut off his ear and sent it to a woman. Hey, VVG, you needed that. Those are blessings. What if you were born without an ear and you found out your neighbor, you lived next door to VVG. Let's say you live next door to VVG and you were born without an ear, so you only have one ear, which is the fucking thing that happens. All kind of crazy shit happens. People have all kind of things, and I accept and love them all, as they should accept and love my freakishly skinny chicken legs and other mild deformities, including my scar dick. I'm sorry if you missed that episode. That's not one I can fully tell the joke again. Wait. They should have never let me be in a room with a microphone alone, though. Nobody really ever should have let me do this, and they did, and then now I can't stop, and now I'm in charge. And it's like, whoops. VVG. If he had social media, though, like, he would have been cutting off all different kind of pieces live on, like, he would have been the worst. DaBaby is bad. Every time him and his girlfriend get into an argument, he goes live on Instagram. Van Gogh would have been live cutting off body parts and waving them at her like, do you see what you've done to me? Don't you see what you've done? This was the toe closest to my left pinky toe. Whatever that one's called. This was it. The kids at this Dave & Buster's are starting to get upset. The story is upsetting to them. Artists and entertainers stay mentally ill. The creatives, man, we do not have our shit together. I think it's the thing that drives like all the funny stuff. I mean, we all know this about comedians historically. Like the greats don't last long; they die literally of like overdoses and all these horrible different things that happen, and suicide and I mean, and guys like, Robin Williams, it ended up being a different reason. It was for health reasons. But like mentally, we have us the all-time great entertainers, and I'm putting myself in this bucket. We have a propensity for mental health issues. And I think that's obviously the common thread is that highly emotional, highly in touch with themselves and the world people tend to suffer from things like anxiety and depression because that means they really know what's going on. And that's not fun at all. I thought it would be. I remember being like, I'm going to learn so much shit about the world. And the more I find out, the more I'm like, oh, this is why people do this. They don't tell you. They just go, knowledge is power. But they don't go, knowledge is power. And despair. That part was cut out. They cut that shit out. And I'm not even smart like smart people. I know multiple people who are significantly smarter than me. Multiple. At least 4. Many people. There are many fine people who are smarter than me. They love me. And I watch it for how it goes for them. Like I mean, it's tough, man. It's the blessing and the curse of intelligence and of the ability to. In my case, it's not the same kind of intelligence. It's emotional intelligence. I made like a regular SAT score and went to Texas State University, bro. I'm not like some fucking, fucking, See, I couldn't even think of an example. That's how stupid I am. See, proof in the pudding. Eat that pudding. Eat my pudding. That sounds like something I might say in bed tonight. Pause. I I cannot believe I just executed that R roll. That is like indicative of a Jordan flu game moment. Like, y'all have to know I'm rolling right now. I'm feeling myself like I'm Lizzo. I cannot believe I saw Lizzo before she got famous. What are we talking about? Anyway, mentally ill people, shouts to y'all. I'm one of you. It's fucking hell in my brain. Dude, I've been struggling. You know how Rick Ross is out there? Every day I'm hustling. For me, it's been every day I'm struggling. And if you're going, are these jokes written? No. And that's with, I'm on 20% capacity. What I'm trying to tell y'all, stick around. All these people bailed last year because I was making fun of Donald Trump. I'm going to make fun of Biden a lot. It's going to start happening. I'm sick and tired of this old man shit. And you're missing the good stuff. I'm getting better. The medicine's leaving my body. He's heating up. Today's episode of RBP is also brought to you by Harry's. Have you looked in the mirror recently? Have you cleaned up yet from the pandy? Be honest. Be honest. I haven't. I didn't until very recently when we got Harry's as a sponsor, honestly, because they've made it much easier for me to maintain my face. Harry's is the best. They can help you. If it's time to tame that bad boy, whatever you got going there, a beard, a goatee, some type of other horrid decision that you made when times were tougher, and now you're having to head back into the office, let Harry's help you. Let them get you fresh and clean. So clean, like Outcast. The all-business look you need back into the office. Let Harry's help. They're awesome. If you don't know Harry's, it's time you do. They were created to be different from other shaving companies. They craft high-quality, long-lasting blades and durable weighted handles that make a close, comfortable shave quick and, dare I say, enjoyable. And because Harry's insists that you shouldn't have to choose between a great shave and a fair price, they just give you both. Refill blades start as low as $2. Easy decision. Even easier, new Harry's customers get their starter set, which includes a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover. $13 value for just $3. Listen up for the code here at the end, harrys.com/RBP, harrys.com/RBP. I'm a 34-year-old man. I've been using shaving products since I hit puberty at 24, and I can assure you Harry's makes the most high-quality shaving experience I have encountered in my decade plus of hair maintenance on my face as a very hairy and manly, extremely manly and masculine man who has zero patches in his facial hair at all, and I'm not just covering him with a hoodie right now. There's never been a better time to get Harry's. Go to harrys.com/RBP to get their starter set for just $3. It's 100% satisfaction guarantee. You've got nothing to lose. harrys.com/RBP right now. Get the special offer, harrys.com/RBP. Do it. The holidays are coming up. Makes a great gift if you got a guy in your life, a brother, an uncle. Maybe you're a guy. Maybe you just want the finest shaving products known to man. Maybe you shave your cat. I don't know. I'm not saying that's made for cat shaving. I'm not sure if they'll be happy with me saying that. But it is what it is. Time for insane headlines of the day. Hey, here's one for you. Over 1,200 Activision-Blizzard employees signed petition demanding CEO Bobby Kotick quit. Now, for the gaming nerds out there, you're like, yeah, Ross, we know. And for the rest of you, holy hell, you got to hear this story. Activision-Blizzard is one of the biggest gaming companies in the world. Blizzard was the thing that made World of Warcraft. Activision is responsible for, excuse me. Okay, that couldn't have gone more wrong. Jared just texted me in the middle of the show, which is not necessarily his fault. But the part that is bad is that after he texted me, I reached for my phone, and I knocked over the microphone, and horrible things happened. And whatever noise that caused just now, man, I sincerely apologize. The funniest part is I didn't even succeed in turning off the ringtone, and I lost my mouse, which was helping me scroll through the rundown of the ad reads that I do have to read. Thank God we got through the Harry's one. Thank God we got through it. We made it. We did it. Okay, I think I'm good now. I'm back in Dave & Buster's. Everything's great. Okay. I'm leaving this in. I'm not editing it out. Other podcasters would. You know, they'd be like, ooh, I don't want people to think I'm a dumbass. Again, this episode's all about proving my stupidity. You know how Rogan will always go, I'm totally stupid, man. You shouldn't listen to anything I say. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm a dumbass. I got great stuff to say. Here's some more of it. So Activision-Blizzard is incredibly important. Blizzard makes and made World of Warcraft, and Activision makes Call of Duty and all the other big-time Warzone and all those franchises and shit. So, in conjunction with a lot of other studios, I might add. But it's a huge video game company and one that I've supported a lot financially and one that many, many, many gamers have supported financially. And they've had a lot of issues lately because it turns out it was run like a total shit show. And people always go, it was a frat boy culture. Look, I was a part of a frat, and I never saw any of the fucking shit that these guys are talking about. I never saw sexual harassment. I never saw anybody get raped or heard about a rape or any of that. That shit did not go down where I went to school. I'm sure it did, and I didn't hear in some degree, but it goes down on every college campus. It's an undeniable fact at this point and something that has to be fixed about our country, which is addressed in A Most Promising Young Woman, if you want to watch that movie. But it was a disaster in there. There was sexual harassment left and right, all types of complaints about the behavior of the executives and them saying demeaning things and commenting on women's clothing and hitting on them and all. It was a mess. All kinds of things were buried. This went on for a very long time, and it turns out Bobby Kotick, the CEO, not only knew but also actively participated in this culture. So a petition is formed, and here's from Kotaku.com. This isn't a random anonymous petition we're talking about here. This is a public record where each worker puts their name and studio on the line in support of a statement condemning the actions of their CEO and demanding his immediate resignation. The statement the signatures are in support of reads like this. We, the undersigned, no longer have confidence in the leadership of Bobby Kotick as the CEO of Activision-Blizzard. The information that has come to light about his behaviors and practices in the running of our companies runs counter to the culture and integrity we require of our leadership and directly conflicts with the initiatives started by our peers. We ask that Bobby remove himself as CEO of Activision-Blizzard and that shareholders be allowed to select the new CEO without the input of Bobby, who, we are aware, owns a substantial portion of the voting rights of the shareholders. Kotick, despite having literally no defensible reason to remain in his position, has yet to resign, has not been ousted by a complicit board of directors. The entire thing is a mess. And yes, again, that is partially from Kotaku.com there. Appreciate them with the story. I haven't played the new version of whatever it's called, Vanguard. I haven't even played it, and it's in part because I refuse to give money to this man anymore. I'm not doing it. Fuck that. There's other good video games. I love Apex Legends. I'm excited to get into the new Halo. I do not need Vanguard or Warzone or any of the shit that this dude gets paid off of. Fuck that. And that is cancel culture. It's individual. It's individual. It's an individual decision that people make whether or not to support somebody and give them money based on how shitty or not shitty they are. And in this case, Bobby Kotick, pretty clear cut, can't give anybody money if a big cut of it is going to him, and that's the case here. That's the case here. It's crazy, though. This has been going on forever. Everybody's known Activision-Blizzard is a shitstorm. Everybody's known. And yet it still goes on. They have a board of fucking directors. Isn't this the reason a board of directors exists? To get rid of your psychotic CEO? Right? It's just nuts. I've got another insane headline, but first, this year, Turkey Day at MyBookie, our sports betting sponsor here at the Ross Bolen podcast, you have plenty of reasons to be thankful, starting with a $250 risk-free bet on Thursday afternoon when the Dallas Cowboys host the Las Vegas Raiders. It's going to be awesome. Bet the spread between the Raiders and Cowboys at MyBookie.ag. When you win, and if you don't, MyBookie will refund you up to $250. Simply put, you can't lose this bet, and that's what I call a no-risk, all-gravy. Happy Turkey Day to us all from our dear sponsor, MyBookie.ag. Before you get your wager in, set yourself up for success by doubling your deposit bonus when you use the promo code RBP, signing up at MyBookie today. If you love betting on sports, they've got all the live lines, all the prop bets, all the future bets, they've got a great casino, a great live casino, everything you can want. And when you use MyBookie, sign up using the promo code RBP. Not only do you double your first deposit, stipulations apply, but also you support the podcast. That's promo code RBP to double your deposit, your initial deposit, all the way up to $1,000, so you won't need to break the wishbone to be the one to come out ahead this Thanksgiving. Feast risk-free on Turkey Day with MyBookie, and make sure to stick around for seconds as they gear up for what should be a fun Black Friday with tons of odds boosts that will have your belly and your pockets full. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code RBP when you sign up. Here's your other inside headline. What just happened to me, mate? Why did I get an accent that wasn't planned at all? I might be having a brain aneurysm. This will be a fun end to the show. Drake rents out Atlanta Dave & Buster's for Future's birthday. I'm going to let that breathe. Just breathe a little. Okay, I'll say it again. Drake rents out Atlanta Dave & Buster's for Future's birthday. Yep. So, you know that whole Astroworld Travis Scott thing that Drake was also a part of and has gotten a lot of flack and feedback from and is now being sued for hundreds of millions of dollars as a result of? Yeah, you remember how they went to Dave & Buster's after that, and it was this whole thing, and it's the reason that I am in Dave & Buster's today recording. And and here's the Future is a 38-year-old man. I'm 34, and I'm the only person I know who people would think of like, man, Ross would really enjoy a good birthday at Dave & Buster's. But I am also probably this one. I'm top 5 strangest people I know as well. And they're bringing strippers, mind you, which again, no offense, respect to the strippers. Y'all are important. I love you, but I don't like strip clubs and I don't like I don't like lap dances. And that's what they got going on here. All kinds of strippers stripping on all kinds of video games and shit. They don't even know little kids are coming in later. They better desanitize this shit, bro. What is there, like pussy juice dripping down the fucking wing-a-ding machine? The Wally Whizzer poppin' boppin'? That's not good. That's disgusting. Don't do that. You disgust me. You're disgusting. 38 years old and a Dave & Buster's, man. This is a line from hotnewhiphop.com where the headline came from. The Atlanta trap icon decided to celebrate it a few different ways with the help of rapper and celebrity friends. Last night, November 19th, Drake rented out Atlanta Dave & Buster's for Future to celebrate his big day. In several photos and videos, Drake was seen living it up like a little kid at the entertainment restaurant. The entertainment restaurant. It's diet casino. It's a diet casino. That's what it is. I love it here, though. I'm gonna go try to get my PowerPoints up as soon as the show ends. I love Dave & Buster's. I'm just saying, it's a diet casino. We've been through this. This thing was made to get little kids to become degenerate gamblers, and it worked on me. MyBookie.ag, code RBP. I want to say before we finish today, rest in peace to young Dolph, the rapper behind albums like Rich Slave, Memphis, Tennessee rapper, killed in a fatal shooting. Obviously, it's a fatal shooting if he's killed, Ross. On Wednesday of this week, 36 years old, man, a couple years older than me. It feels like a little bit like a Nipsey Hussle type of situation where it was his hometown, you know, your own people. And according to Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis, yeah, real name was Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., reportedly buying cookies at Makeda's homemade butter cookies in Memphis when someone drove up and shot him. And just like with Nipsey, and being the old white dude that I am, I'm not as plugged in as I once was to the hip-hop game. Shouts to Residue, rest in peace. And I didn't know about... I heard about Dolph a lot. I'd heard about Dolph a lot. I'd not heard that much about Nip. And I've started listening to his music way more after he passed. And same thing happened with Nipsey, and I really love it, man. Like 100 Shots is fire. It's ironically terrible now, but it's fire. He's got a lot of great songs, had a lot of great songs, great, very funny dude by all accounts. And it's one of those things where, like, one of the unfortunate parts of the rap game is that a lot of these incredibly talented artists come out of very difficult areas where the only way up is sometimes by, like, eating your own in a way. By, like, selling crack. By doing kick doors. By doing street shit that is hurting other people in your neighborhood. But somebody's got to get out. And then to get out and then to still stay as much as he was still there so often, and he had a lot of beef there, and he talked a lot of shit, Dolph, no lie. But nobody deserves to die over some shit talking. Unless you shit talk my dogs, Bruce and Bellet. But no, for real, it's just sad. It's we lose too many young, talented musicians either to gun violence or to drug abuse or to mental health issues. And it upsets me a great deal, and I hope everybody out there stays safe. Go get the help you need. Go to therapy. Use these therapy options we've got for you as sponsors. We've got several. None of them were in this episode, so I'm not going to say them now. But you know them if you listen to the show, and if you haven't, listen to the show. Or go find your own in your town, or do whatever you need to do. But get help and make sure you surround yourself with people who can give you good advice to keep you alive and keep you safe. And I'm not saying anybody in Dolph's camp failed him. I'm just saying that we all need as much help as we can get. We do. I went to a shaman. I went to a shaman. I made fun of people like me now for years and years of my life, and now I am that guy. I went to a shaman who accused me of having flirted with insanity. What? Like I wanted to fuck it. Felt like victim shaming. Because the insanity took my ass. Not the other way around. Shaman. Come on, man. I love y'all. Thanks for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the Solo Dolo Ron Bolo episode. Ron Bowler is my name. Podcasting is my game. Please support our sponsors. MyBookie.ag, code RBP. Get that double deposit bonus now. Make sure you get on their Thanksgiving special. Raiders Cowboys. MyBookie.ag, code RBP when you deposit. Hey, take care of your face and do it the right way, men. Harrys.com/RBP. Get yourself the best razors in the game. And, of course, the best glasses. And now they actually do have sunglasses, too. Their sunglasses are pretty tight. I have a pair. They're awesome. I wear them often. But the only prescription glasses I wear, and they have non-prescription too, but the only blue light glasses I wear ever, FelixGrayGlasses.com/RBP. Support our sponsors. That's the way to support the show. Also, Patreon.com/Ross Bolen Podcast for extra episodes where if you had already been on there, you would already had your second episode this week. This would be number 3 for you because we dropped theirs first to say thank you. I had a tough week health-wise. I appreciate your patience and bearing with me. Love you. Be back soon. Peace be with you. All the other things I used to say. Billy out.